Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. We are live in Dubai and we finally come to the conclusion of the Asia Cup 2022. And it's Sri Lanka who are crowned the champions after a dominant performance. It's now 4 wins in a row from them. And who would have thought at the beginning of the tournament, everyone was talking about an India Pakistan final. India Pakistan are favorites, but they knocked out India. They've knocked out now Pakistan. They beat them twice in the dress rehearsal and now in the final when it mattered. An outstanding performance. And I felt if you look at the start of the game, Pakistan got the advantage. They won the toss, elected to bowl first, picked up a wicket in the first over itself. Naseem Shah was flying, a brilliant delivery in swinging to get Kusal Mendes out, and Pakistan were off to a flyer. And the wickets kept tumbling. Haris Rauf came in, he picked up a wicket in his first over, and the pressure was on the power play. Sri Lanka succumbed to the pressure, and it looked like it was going to be a one-sided final. There were 58 for 5 at one stage, and Pakistan were in total and complete control of the match. I felt that they were cruising and they could have got Sri Lanka all out for 120. It looked like a one-way street, but then hats off to that man, Rajapaksa. Outstanding innings and really well supported first by Hasaranga and then by Karuna Ratne. Hasaranga has shown that it's not only his matchup with the ball, but with the bat as well. He's very helpful. And today was a proper all-round performance from Hasaranga. And Rajapaksa, you have to, throw your hat to him. He's been outstanding under pressure. He plays one-way aggressive cricket, and today he kind of changed it a bit. Took the single doubles, but his strike rate was still 157. He was still finding the boundaries. Yes, he was a bit fortunate towards the end of his innings to get to a 50 and everything. Shadab Khan dropped him a couple of times. He dropped him once. The second time, Asif Ali came in the middle. He came in the middle of Asif Ali. But yeah, I think overall it was a great batting performance under pressure. 58 for 5 in a final to take your team to 170. That's just that's massive respect. Outstanding batting. The pressure that he was feeling, Pakistan were on top, and these are quality Pakistan bowlers who didn't play in that last game against Sri Lanka. They all bowl 140 plus to soak up the pressure and take your team to a more than respectable score, especially when you know that even 170 can be chased because the side batting second knows what the target is. There might be a bit of dew on offer, but that wasn't the case. It was all Sri Lanka, outstanding, and you have to really respect the way they played. You have to applaud the way they played. I felt that this whole tournament they've been clinical. The one game against Afghanistan, they got 100 all out, but they learned from that. Today I felt that they didn't go too aggressive. They built a partnership. The main thing was they were very good in rotating the strike. Yes, there was a stage where I think in the 13th 14th over, Hasaranga started shifting away and started finding the boundary, over third man, over covers and everything like that. But at the stage before that, they were rotating the strike. They made sure they didn't consume too many dot balls. And so if you notice, the run rate never went below 6, 7 like that. They always had that run rate ahead. And you have to commend the way Rajapaksa played that scoop again. He played against Naseem Shah, a bowler like that to play a scoop. Outstanding. He hit a few sixes off him. And what turned out to be a good start for Naseem Shah turned out to be a 10 run and over spell. And he was expensive today. Of course, he's a young lad. He will learn from this experience. Haris Rauf was the pick of the board. It was 4 overs, 29 runs, 3 wickets. I felt he bowled really well. But Pakistan were very sloppy in the field. The way they were dropping catches, letting the single doubles, with the ball going to the boundary. It was it was a very poor performance in the field. They'll have to learn from that because they had the same issue in a T20 World Cup against Australia where they dropped catches. You can drop catches. That's not a big deal. It is a big deal, but it does happen with the pressure and everything like that. But at the same time, you have to learn from those mistakes. You have to cope with the pressure. Look how Sri Lanka fielded. They were outstanding in the field. And Pakistan made repetitive mistakes. It's not just one catch which lost them the game or anything like that. It was repetitive mistakes. And those catches going and flying to the boundary, going for sixes, fours. So it was not only costing you, not getting the guy, but also costing you runs and extra bonus 6 runs. So that's one thing that they have to work on, especially in big games. I felt that Babar Azam didn't go for the kill. He had them 5 down. He should have gotten his strike bowlers. And also, I understand, India also made this mistake. I understand that he's a left-hander, but Nawaz has been one of your best bowlers this tournament. Why are you not bowling him? You only bowled 1 over and he gave only 3 runs. He should have bowled, even if it was to Rajapaksa. Let Rajapaksa go after him because Nawaz is a better bowler than Iftikhar Ahmed. So he has a better chance of getting a wicket. Let him go, let him go after you. And Nawaz can use his skill and get him out. Nawaz did get Jadeja out as well towards the end of that India-Pakistan game. So I don't understand I understand that sometimes the left-right hand it does work, but why are you bowling a part-timer in a final when you know that somebody somebody like a Nawaz is there, he will give you 4 overs, and just try him out. If he gets hit for a couple of overs, then fine, you can replace him and get Iftikhar. But yeah, I think that's where Babar missed a trick. He didn't go for the kill at all, I felt, and he lost his composure whenever panic strikes in the Pakistan dressing room. They just don't. They're not calm enough, and they start making mistakes in the field, and that's what happened today. No doubt, this is a very talented young team. They have a bright future, but at the same time, these moments is where they'll need to grasp, because they're playing in UAE conditions. They're comfortable with these conditions. They had the major crowd backing, and then a lot of these players were in good form, and their bowling is probably one of the best bowling units going out there in the world in terms of pace and everything. So I think this is a chance missed for them, and but you have to give credit to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka have been outstanding. They've knocked over Pakistan twice. They've knocked over India, Afghanistan, Bangladesh. They've beaten every single team in this tournament, and they played some quality cricket. If you look at the second innings, the first over of the second innings was insane. 10 runs without a ball being bowled. Madhushanka was completely nervous, it felt like, and he just kept bowling wides. He gave 5 wides as well. He bowled a no ball in the beginning, and it was going all wrong. It looked like Pakistan will win this game, because the required run rate was already down. The target went already from 170 to 160 without a ball being bowled, and that. I felt that should have given Pakistan the confidence. They should have been a bit more attacking. I understand the pitch, the dew didn't come into that effect that they were expecting, and the pitch was slowing up. But I think out of Babar is one has to accelerate, and they need to also work the single double. There was too many dot balls being consumed, and you see this happened with Pakistan in the last game against Sri Lanka as well. That when you consume that many dot balls, you go for a big hit and you get out. And then Fakhar Zaman came, he got out for his ball inside edge, and after that, a very good partnership between Rizwan and Iftikhar Ahmed. But again, their strike rates were just above 100. You could feel that pressure was building, because the required rate was always close to 10, and they were always fighting with that required rate. And that's where I felt that one person should have been a bit more aggressive in that partnership. I understand Sri Lanka bowled really well, but you have to take risks in this situation. Sri Lanka, when they were batting, if Rajapaksa was holding the fort, then Hasaranga would attack. If Hasaranga was holding the fort, vice versa. So I think they should have learned from that template and been a bit more aggressive, made sure they were up to the required run rate. I felt they didn't do that enough, Pakistan, and in a pressure chase, that's going to happen in the final. I understand in Dubai, honestly, like winning the toss, bowling first is a huge advantage, but today it just worked against Pakistan, and for that you have to give credit to Sri Lanka. Outstanding bowling. Look at all these bowlers. Madhusan comes in, in the last couple of games. Today picked up 4 wickets. He was brilliant from the get-go. He kept picking up wickets, put the pressure on Pakistan. Hasaranga was outstanding. I felt his first couple of overs, he was a bit slow to start. He was giving a few loose deliveries, but then the third over, he just picked up. He was in his rhythm. He was flighting the ball. Brilliant variations. Pakistan didn't know exactly what was happening. The ball turning, off the pitch as well. Sometimes he was bowling the wrong one, and he was bamboozling the batsman, and it was a brilliant spell. That over where he came back, his third over, it killed the game, picked up a couple wickets, and with that, the hopes of Pakistan were vanished for winning the Asia Cup. And again, also I have to give credit to Karuna Ratne, Dhananjay Silva. He came in, what a contribution, 1 over 4 runs, but also with the bat, he hit a few boundaries, and just to come out there and start playing like it's been his second game, I think, of the tournament. Brilliant stuff from him, and overall Tikshana as well, economy of 6.25. Madhushanka, economy of 8. It should have been economy of 4 or 5, but that first over the first ball went for 10 runs, so that's why his economy is a bit higher. But he's had an outstanding tournament as well, and what a victory for Sri Lanka. This brought back the years back in the 90s, where even in Sharjah, the likes of Muralitharan, Kalu Tanna, Jayasuriya, Arvinda De Silva, Rana Tonga, these guys were dominating world cricket, and today it felt like that. Not only have they beaten India, they beaten Pakistan now as well, and this will give them a lot of confidence going to the World Cup. We saw glimpses of it in the last T20 World Cup, where they won the last couple of group stages games. But especially in these conditions, Sri Lanka have quality spinners. They have fast bowlers who can vary the pace. Karuna Ratne has an immense slower ball. One of the best slower balls in this tournament were bowled by Karuna Ratne, and he's picked up wickets on that. Again, today he did as well. And then Madhusanka, he was brilliant. Madhusan was brilliant, and Shanaka, the captain, didn't bowl today. They didn't even need him. He's had an outstanding tournament with the ball. Even with the bat, he's contributed. But today it was more his captaincy, the way he used his bowlers, kept us calm, and that's the difference. That Sri Lanka showed compared to all the other teams in this tournament. They were calm in crucial stages. You can always say, yeah, they won the toss, they won the game, but today they were under the pump, 5 wickets down. got to 170 and still had to defend that, and they did that beautifully. Remember Pakistan chased 180 against India, so 170 was a chaseable target, but Sri Lanka were outstanding. Very good display of skill, very good in the field. They took all their catches, they applied the pressure on Pakistan, and deserved winners and champions of Asia. The man of the match was Rajapaksa, and undoubtedly so. He came in a pressure situation, took them out of jail, and took them to a very competitive score. Hasaranga, man of the series, outstanding. What a performance today. He could have also gotten man of the match because all round he was brilliant, but he's been outstanding. This has been his series, and this is the rise of Hasaranga in the cricketing world. He's outshined other spinners in this tournament, whether it's Chahal, Shadab, even Rashid Khan. It's been Hasaranga's tournament. He's been outstanding, and when you see all the Asian teams have quality spinners, but for him to shine like that and win man of the series, credit goes to him. You have to applaud him for that effort, and he's up there now. He's up there, and a lot of people were talking about him and his price tag at RCB and everything like that, but he's shown what he can do on the international stage, and I think he deserves every applaud that he gets, every praise that he gets. He deserved that. It's been a great tournament for him. Rajapaksa has been outstanding. Mendes, Shanaka, it's been brilliant to see the Sri Lankan side. Really happy for them. They've gone through turmoil. Politically they've had issues and everything in their country, but for them to come out and win a cricket tournament like this, the fans in the stadium were just singing and dancing the whole time. They didn't want to leave the stadium. And Sri Lankan fans, whether win or lose, they're always smiling. I saw a game against Afghanistan. They lost, but they were never angry. They were still dancing in the aisles and having fun, and that's exactly what happened today as well. They were enjoying it, and it's great to see smiles on their faces because they're going through a tough time, and if cricket can bring smiles like that, then why not? And their team is playing some quality cricket. Watch out for the World Cup. This is still a learning and inexperienced Sri Lankan team who's learning on the go, but now in the last couple of years they've really improved, and it's about taking it to the next stage now, especially in T20 cricket. They have the batsmen who can attack. They have anchors there. They have all-rounders. They have spinners. They have fast bowlers. And remember, everyone talks about no Bumrah and no Shaheen Afridi in this tournament. There was no Chamira as well. Their quickest bowler, who's been outstanding for them in the past few months. So without him, you can say that Shaheen didn't play. You can say Bumrah didn't play, but they didn't have their fastest bowler as well, and that's where you have to give them credit. No complaints. No one talks about Sri Lanka like that. A lot of attention was given to India, Pakistan. Sri Lanka went under the radar, and they just performed brilliantly. And for me as well, Rajapaksa, to see him bat live, it's been an experience. And he caught my eye last year as well in the T20 World Cup. Just the aggression that he plays with, the connection on his shots, timing, outstanding. And he's gonna take Sri Lankan cricket far. And it's a very exciting player to watch. But yeah, I think well deserved to Sri Lanka. From Pakistan's point of view, they'll have to learn from this. They've had a very good tournament, and at times they've done really well. Again, it's a team who is learning, but they have to put their mistakes right, because the mistakes that they made today, I saw that in the T20 World Cup last year as well. Whether it's in the field with the bat, getting pressurized and consuming dot balls, with the ball, towards the end, just letting it slip as well, and one or two drop catches, then they start letting it slip, bowl some loose deliveries after a good start. You've seen this too often, and the captain also needs to learn from that. So does the team, because it can't happen, because this was their perfect chance. They were playing good quality cricket, and they need to work on that, especially going into that T20 World Cup. They have the fast bowlers, but again, they're going to be against Australia, England, South Africa, who don't mind playing pace either. So whether they will be troubled on Australian pitches, it'll be exciting to see. But more than the bowling, I think bowling is not that much of a concern. The batting is a bigger issue. They have to learn. There's talks about Shoaib Malik coming back in and stuff like that. Let's see what happens. The number 4 has been an issue in this tournament. And normally, he does provide that stability, him and Hafiz. They missed that, but I think they should have played Haider Ali in this tournament. They missed a trick. They played Iftikhar in every single game. Haider Ali has been playing really well in domestic cricket in the National Cup. He's played well in the PSL as well, and he's a very good batsman. He's someone who can rotate the strike. He can put the loose balls, loose deliveries away as well. So he should have been tried, I felt, and that's where Pakistan kind of missed a trick in their team selection. But apart from that, yes, they didn't have Shaheen. But positive is that they got someone like an Asim Shah, Dahani as well, Hasnain. These guys all had a good go. They played in pressure games. They bowled quick, and they try to put pressure on the opposition as much as they could. In the end, it's a learning curve. It's just a game. They will learn from this, and hopefully they'll improve for themselves in the T20 World Cup. But yeah, it's congratulations to Sri Lanka. It's been an outstanding tournament. Some good quality games. Yes, the toss has been a deciding factor in big games, but today it wasn't, and a lot of credit has to go to Sri Lanka, the way they bowled, fielded, and the way they batted. They put Pakistan in so much pressure that they were able to defend the total in the end very comfortably. It wasn't the nail biter that we saw in a couple of the India-Pakistan games, or the Sharjah match between Pakistan and Afghanistan. But in the end, it was a comfortable win. But they made it comfortable with those wickets that Hasaranga took in the 16th, 17th over. They made it comfortable then. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you so much for joining me. It was a pleasure covering this tournament. Stay tuned for the latest cricket coverage. Hopefully, we'll do more cricket and do more series now. There's that England South Africa last Test match going on as well. That's it's looking exciting. Only one day to go, I think. But yeah, it's been a low scoring affair, so we'll have an eye on that. And India is playing 2 bilateral series at home against Australia and South Africa. Pakistan's playing 70-20s against England at home. So plenty of cricket to look forward to building up to that T20 World Cup. The focus will be on T20 cricket until that World Cup, and then from there, I think we'll shift to ODIs and Tests. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. It was a pleasure. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for the latest cricketing updates. That's me, Mustafa, signing out. Thank you.